Hey y'all, it's Timothy. Shot clock, 10 minutes on the clock. I don't know who I am anymore, and I know you're probably like, Tamia, another fucking video about this? Yes, another, because it's my page, fuck you. I just have to say, I'm trying to figure out massive aspects of my personality because almost everything in my life has changed dramatically in a way that is like hardly recognizable to me. Sometimes even my own experiences don't feel real. I know they happened. It just feels like, how do I put this? It feels like the last 21, 22, I'm almost 23 in like a week. It feels like all that time was just like an awful, long, nightmarish fever dream that just never could fucking end. And now I've just woken up from it entirely changed, and it's like, what now? I have a stable job, but what do I save my money for? Because I don't know what the future fucking holds for me. The planet's ending. Like, winters are cold and freezing and storming. Like, why do we have hurricanes in California now? Summers are getting smeltingly hot, and what's worse is this is probably going to be the coldest summer we have, despite it being boiling temperatures. The government wants to leave us for dead, the pandemic is still ongoing, and people still want us fucking dead for any reason whatsoever. What future is there really to work for? And then aside from that, my future goals that I had when I was like a teenager are no longer the goals I have now. When I was younger, I was like, oh, I want to make money from my creative like resources, like script writing, screenwriting, filmmaking, this, that. So that then eventually I could have my own apartment and then also save my younger brother from an abusive household so that he doesn't grow up to be narcissistic, little dangerous to others, like all the other people in my now estranged family. That didn't exactly work out. He's still there, and I'm entirely separate from him and definitely not in a place where I can petition to be his guardian or anything like that. I'm not in a position to do that, so that's a shame. I used to fucking hate anal sex, and I used to think anal sex was just some sort of like torturous fetish thing that you did to women. Like, I thought it was just one of those like misogynistic like kinks that dudes have just because they like seeing women in pain. Until I tried it, and then it's like, ah, shit. Now I did a whole 180 on my opinion, and anal is my favorite fucking thing. I used to be very supportive of the homeless until eventually it was like 13 crackheads on one fucking street just having the time of their life, and then whenever a person would walk by, they threatened to slit their throat, whether they looked at them or did not look at them. So there was no winning either way. You just have people threatening to murder you. Why? Because they were cracked out on fentanyl. I used to like the homeless, and now I see them as nuisances that can spread COVID to me and piss me off, but at the same time I still want them home. I used to love recording videos online, and I used to not feel any shame about it because it's like, what? Who gives a shit? What, some edgy 12-year-old is gonna call me cringe whole time they're fucking worse than me? Or some old misogynistic man is gonna have a bad opinion on me? Or some weirdo on the internet is just gonna be shady? Like, who? Eventually it was like, who gives a shit? Just make the videos. Except now I don't even have the drive or passion to make the videos, and it's hard to put my finger on why. Probably because the Instagram algorithm is fucked up, so instead of it being like, oh, I could post a fucking picture of myself, or a video, or some important fucking message, and then it'll get like one single like if I'm lucky, despite being having 800 followers. The algorithm doesn't fucking benefit people whatsoever, and I haven't been in touch with some of my friends in fucking years, or even seen their posts, because the algorithm will somehow have me follow a bunch of pages I have never followed, like trying to convince me, oh yes, Tamia, you've definitely followed Khloe Kardashian, and replace it with like brands and shit. But the whole time, I haven't seen the people I've actually wanted to see on my pages in years, and they couldn't find my shit for years either. And it sucks too if we forget each other's screen names. I used to like tweeting until people stopped responding, and then it's just talking into the void with no fucking fun or unnecessary negative responses. I used to love leaving my house all the time, having the sun on my skin and being in new places alone and solo, and now people just kind of piss me off. And the world pisses me off. The world is unnecessarily filthy. The streets used to be cleaned, and now they're just covered in piss and shit. And then you can't even smile at some people anymore because they'll just stare you down and not wave back. Or you could be walking down the street minding your business, you pull your mask down for 2 seconds and you already have 2 nasty ass people coughing in your face already, risking you for COVID. I used to have ambition for my writing, but at the same time I also know that my ambition simply went away along with a bunch of other cognitive functions once I had multiple concussions. So that's a shame. I actually had an Uber recently with this cute girl, or non-binary, it was hard to tell. They had non-binary vibes, so let's go with she, they pronouns. And then they expressed disappointment when I said that I couldn't even remember why I stopped like pursuing my creative goals despite now having the time and money to do so. And at first they were gonna shit on me until I remembered, oh yeah, I had a concussion. It removed all my abilities to like focus and like have an attention span and memory, or just the drive and passion to do things that I otherwise loved to do obsessively in my past. Or maybe I just thought I loved writing because I thought it would be the easiest way to get out of poverty. But the film industry is also digging itself into a grave because screenwriters aren't getting paid, actors are being scanned, and so that AI can take over the industry, and they're not even using any scripts that they do buy. They're just sitting in a vault in Disney. What's the fucking point? I used to sympathize with broke men. I used to. Until I realized that most men are also just like really fucking misogynistic deep down and hide massive elements of their personality and will just pick and choose between traditional values and modern values so that then they can get exactly what they want from women for as little given as possible, and that is incredibly depressing and scares me from love. And now I make niggas pay all the bills because fuck you. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I just feel like an entirely different person. And I'm noticing that things are changing that I thought would never change. Like, if you would have asked me when I was 17, in fact, I remember, I made a 10-year goal plan. I remember I made a poster when I was like 16, 15, 17, something like that. And it was in my high school history or English class. Everyone loved the poster. They were like, this girl is so talented, she's got big dreams. She's gonna go far. Look at her writing, look at her art. She's going to go incredibly far. I went incredibly far into a deep depression. And then nothing went out. I got more trauma. I got more sexual assault. I had more depressing things happen to me in my life that entirely changed the way my brain functions. And like my life is no longer even like vaguely recognizable now. Even though I'm out of like the traumatic situation now, it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. How this feels without thinking of a metaphor. I guess my life now feels like that I've been stuck in some sort of like horror movie where I've just been in nonstop fight or flight for the past like 5, 6, maybe even 8 years. And I didn't know how to like now I'm suddenly strutting like in some sort of like satirical romantic comedy, except I'm still the same depressed like manic pixie dream girl character that was a final girl in the last few movies, so I'm not able to keep up with the genre change. My brain is not telling me, oh yes, you're in a new reality, you can do any single thing you want. You could be as free as you want without any consequences. Because my brain just keeps telling me, no, something bad will happen if you do that. Maybe it's still like a subconscious fear about like the estrangement of my family that was pretty traumatic. They were very weird about it and kept giving like stalky vibes, and some of them still try to lurk my pages to this day, which is really fucking pathetic. Like, they've gone so long in my life just ignoring me. I think they should, you know, continue that trend now that it's like super convenient for me. Fucking lame ass niggas. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is, what my drive is. The reason that I really keep going, like I'm not saving any money despite making like pretty decent money, because I don't know what to save for. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few days, nonetheless, the next few weeks or years. I had it so figured out when I was 17, but no one could have expected a pandemic that had the world shut down for like 2 to 3 years and killed off so many fucking people and gave them brain disabilities. No one could have expected that. I didn't expect the film industry to crash and burn, and it's like, I don't know how this, all of this is weird. It feels like I'm someone who had massive ambitions in their life, and then suddenly they're just struck with war. And then everything that they ever known and loved and created just burned out dramatically. If anything, yeah, I forget that was a massive trauma of mine. Whenever I actually would try to make YouTube videos in the past, like actual good content, like creative, I'd buy a green screen or a tripod or invest in a laptop. Suddenly the laptop would break, like super fucking dramatically. And then I'd have to save up for a new one or like just suffer without a proper outlet to release my emotions. Or it would be, hell, yeah, I forget. That actually did happen the day that I got attacked by my mom. I was deep cleaning my room to give myself a fresh start. I was like, I'm gonna remove all the wine bottles and I'm gonna make sure like I get all my clothes professionally cleaned, my bed sheets cleaned. I wanna be like the most healthy, functioning version of myself. Despite my environment not wanting me to do so, I still wanna try. And I tried. So fucking hard. I tried so fucking hard. And I had my big fancy green screen and my lights, and I had so much stuff. Like artwork I made over the years, and storyboards, and character designs, and all of that. And it all just vanished in an instant because some fucking fat bitch that I had to sadly call a mother decided to get mad at me for having one single unvacuumed corner of the room, and then she decided it was appropriate to sit on my face and try to claw my fucking eyes out. If you ever see me making videos online calling my mother things like a whore, a slut, a bitch, a cunt, and someone who should have never ever gave birth to me, don't worry, that's just stuff that usually she said about me. It's just me leveling the playing field. Some people know all of what my mom has done to me and still try to be all, ooh, well, you know, she probably still loves you. No. She slut-shamed me in times when I was suffering from like revenge porn or rape, and she took their side. Nigga, she never even knew. She body shamed me. She caused multiple eating disorders. She didn't inherently give a fuck about me. She got 3 cats knowing that I'm so allergic to cats that I could be sent to the hospital. She's not a good person. She's a pedophile too. She has always had weird incestual sexual thoughts towards me. She fetishized the shit out of me. She was very happy to have sex with a man who was very clearly black because she didn't exactly be seen as a black person due to her shitty Lower London ass looks of light-skinned with green eyes or whatever. And no ass. Her words, not mine. And so when I was born, she very much heavily fetishized me from a very young age. Tutti Frutti with the big fat juicy booty is not a nickname you should have for a 4-year-old. And then when she cries, you should not act like she is too dramatic. She was sexualizing me from a young age. She was obsessed with me in so many weird ways. And also when I didn't fit into whatever box she wanted me to fit into. Let's just say she played favoritism in her favor. She was a manipulative hag who turned her own kids against each other. Me and my sister, even though I don't even like to call her a sister because she's mutually a fucking cunt, she didn't do anything that I did to make sure I could at least come out like mostly a good person. She didn't. She disgusts me too. She could kill herself. I know that's a little wild to say, but it's okay. Because when I was thinking of suicide, when I was like 12, my sister decided the proper thing to do was snitch to the whole family as well as threaten to punch me in the face and call me an ungrateful bitch. So, that bitch could get attacked by wolves and I would laugh. I've had positive dreams of my family dying. Or at least my mom, my sister. My bad thoughts about my older brother have died out, but that's just since he sent me money and didn't give me too much problems when I moved out. My stepdad is, I don't feel any sort of way towards him. He was cheating on my mother. And trying to go for girls. When I was 17, he was going for girls who were only like 2 years older than me. To cheat on my mom with. I'm calm. Oh, okay. My younger brother was the only one I cared for, and even then, like, I haven't talked to him in years. Probably that same paranoia, you know, the reason I haven't posted videos or done this or done that. I don't know why I care so much about other people's opinions. Probably because a part of me is still like, what if they track me down and find me? But what could they really do? The best they could even aspire to do is beat my ass, but there's nothing they could ever do to me. Even if they did ever see me in public or learn anything about my life, there's not fucking shit they could do. I pray my younger brother is safe, because despite him and all the weird shit that my family's already instilled in him that's probably worsened over the years, I still love him. He's a sweetheart. I just want him to be safe, and I hope that if my family ever gets vicious like they were to me, that he knows to leave. And I want to still, maybe I should, I still want to be a support system for him one way or another. I'll figure something out. I'm good at that. But yeah, I'm just figuring out my reasons to keep going. So that it's not just like I'm just alive just to make money, spend it on food, stare at the wall, and then have sex, and then rinse and repeat. Like, there's gotta be more purpose, right? I used to be an extreme nihilist because I thought life has no inherent purpose or value. Ironically, that has been replaced with fear. Why? Because I've deluded myself into thinking my job gives a shit about me. They don't. They don't give a single shit about me. At all. Like, I'm pretty sure if anyone at my job found my page, at best it'd be like, wow, she makes long-ass videos on her break. Oh well. We don't give a shit. Cause why? Cause I'm just some fucking useless pawn. Like, the least important person in this company. But at the same time, like, I'm still a good worker. I have the perfect job. A job that doesn't give a single shit about me and no one wants to know about my life. And I just get paid and go. Incredibly stable, easy money, so just everything works out about it. And I feel like I just want to utilize my time on this planet, especially this pivotal moment where it's like I have rent that I can afford in a solid enough neighborhood with decent income and a good solid job that does not cause me any excess stress, and I want to use it to like get back into like creative progress and my goals, and I guess probably deep down that trauma of what happened when my mom attacked me, when I had to lose everything I worked hard for over the years that I hoped to take with me when I moved out. All my artwork, my drawings, my writings, every single fucking thing I had ever loved or carefully created with my heart and soul, fucking gone. That's traumatic. So I think deep down in my brain, I'm still thinking, what's the point of creating if I don't do it right, or if it's no point? What's the point of writing a story if I can't pitch it to some sort of exec and make a TV show off of it? And even if it does get a TV show, I won't get fucking paid, or they'll make stupid edits to it that I won't agree with. And what's the point of dating and love and romance if it's never going to lead anywhere specific? And like, why have kids if you're not even sure of the future you're going to be putting them into? Do you want them to suffer? So I don't know. This is just like a sacred point in my life where I know that I still value my life. I do. If anything, I know that's inherently why I have the fears that I have. Because I recognize that I'm in a sweet spot in my life that is valuable and I don't want to waste it. But I also don't want it to get squandered by people who give me the evil eye or like want to speak fear into my plans or fuck it up. And of course the world's going to a very shitty standstill where the environment is collapsing and corporations are being greedy, so not even social media is pushing certain content that even if I put so much heartful thought and love and craft into it, it doesn't seem to have much payoff, excluding YouTube. Surprisingly, I have almost 500 followers on here. Shout out to y'all. Love you so much. Wow, I'm actually still shocked at that. So life is good. Yeah. Also, I used to be a lot more bold, and even though I'm getting more bold, but more like these days, just in a different way. Like at 17 and 18, I was bold in the, I'm gonna go outside wearing like mom jeans and a crop top with boots, and I don't give a fuck how my hair looks, and I'm gonna see whoever I want, whenever I want. And I'm gonna be unapologetically me, even if it's like super hyper flirty and feminine, or like super rugged or tomboyish or masculine. Like the world's gonna take me however I fucking delivered to it. And that was a level of confidence I aspire to reach again. I'm getting there. I have been. I've been leaving the house more wearing whatever I feel like, natural hair out, afro, fun little outfits, just feeling nice. And it's been pleasant. And I want to do that more often. Alright. I'm almost done. But I just want, now it's like I'm bold in the sense of, I'm standing up to myself when someone in customer service is mean to me, or I'm setting boundaries in certain workplaces, or I'm doing this or doing that. But, I'm not doing certain shit that I used to do because I thought, fuck, like, I used to have manic episodes that were super bad because of my abusive home life. So whenever I would feel like shitty and like my life was at a standstill being wasted, I'd just do weird shit like, impulsively go into the DMs of a bunch of people and immediately befriend them, and then, or like say whatever on their post, and then I'd wake up and have like 18 new friends or like 6 new enemies. That was funny. I should start doing that again. Or I used to make YouTube videos and then be unapologetic about like pushing it to people because I thought, hey, I don't talk to these fuckers anyway. What's the point of these people following me if they can't actually like engage in my content or actually talk to me or see how I'm doing? I should do that again because frankly, some of these niggas I haven't talked to in years, and some of them would actually love to talk to me or have a reason to, but just haven't. And I don't know. I just want to get to that level where it's like, instead of thinking, oh no, this person I haven't talked to in years will think I'm cringe if I send them like a YouTube video I made. No, instead it should be, this person will be happy to receive my content. They'll be happy to talk to me, and if they aren't, then simply just tell them to fuck themselves and block them, because what's the point of being in my life or pretending like you're in my life just to not actually engage with me and to act like I'm an asshole for actual attempts at bonding. So yeah, I'm doing nothing wrong. I just gotta get my head out of my own ass, or out of the sand, or whatever quote works best, and put in the drive and motivation for certain things. And even if it doesn't pay off, then hey, well, writing a fun little blurb, even if it's like not in chronological order for a specific script I haven't worked on in years, will it still feel cathartic? Like, I don't have to restart projects that don't bring me the same amount of like emotional joy to continue anymore, because maybe they were just projects I made during certain bad times in my life that were cathartic to like teenage me, but adult me doesn't want to reflect on, because it'll just push me back farther into like trauma mode, you know? Like certain things, I feel. I think that makes sense, right? I like to think it makes sense. Alright, my life is lovely, and I just, time to get ballsy again. I'm gonna get bold, I'm gonna get ballsy, and do what the fuck I want. And if people think I'm cringe, no offense, they're gonna think I'm cringe any fucking way. Like, no offense, I show up to work, am quiet, well dressed, and all of that, and people will still find a way to be like, oh, look at that girl, she's so cringe, doing her job and being polite and not telling anyone about her life and following things by the book. So, you know, yeah, who gives a shit? So yeah, that's the fun part of nihilism. Eventually you just realize, who gives a shit? You could just block people, or change jobs, or do this, or do that. Like, I don't really give a fuck if, hypothetically, my family or coworkers or anything saw videos where I'm talking about throwing up on dick or traumas. I don't give a shit. As long as I don't really say anything too offensive. Like, it's not like I'm going to start listing out coworkers by name, and anything I do actually say, it's going to be on the close friends list, of course, or way after I quit a job. I'm smart. But yeah. Well, yeah, and also, yeah, my workplace people better never try to follow me on Twitter. Yeah. As long as they don't do that, I'll be good. I talk so much shit there. Alright, bye.